farms provide us with a zero-emission future, but we still build them and maintain them with steamships. Can't that be different? Well, it can be, according to Damen. Can I get some applause for Mark and Rebecca of Damen? Hi, good afternoon, welcome. Well, explain to us the future of zero-emission wind farms. And yeah, your presentation is over there. It will also appear behind you.
Perfect.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having us. My name is Mark Kouwenberg. Together with me is Rebecca Belmer. And together we work on the range of SOV vessels which we have within Damen. SOVs, what are we really talking about? Service operations vessels. Basically, floating hotels, designed and built to have a lot of technicians on board, people who service the wind farms. So floating hotels, but also fitted with a big warehouse, a big gangway, motion compensated, usually big cranes, all sorts of nice stuff. These vessels are designed and built in a very efficient way with batteries and hybrid and all that. Very clean engines, Tier 3, even methanol prepared, but still, these vessels run on diesel. That's the only story today. About 3 years back, we asked ourselves the question, can't we build these vessels full electric on batteries? Or would that be just outrageous big? I mean, batteries, we all know, they are big. But actually the answer was pretty simple. Already soon we realized, yes, we can build these vessels full electric. Basically, there are three main questions which you had to solve. One is, of course, the vessel design. We need to fit in the batteries and a few other things. The second thing, the charge system. We realized full electric vessels are only possible if there is a decent, solid charge system in the field. And we also realized, basically, we want a charge system which is installed on a wind turbine or an offshore substation, rather than a buoy maybe, or another type of complex structure. The reason being especially operational. A charge system on a turbine, we believe, it provides you with the most efficient and safe connecting operation. The last main question really is the business case. Does it pay out? We have to invest a lot in batteries and charge systems. Is it compensated by the lower energy cost? And all these three questions, we're going to provide some answers today. First, a quick look on how we believe such system could look like. The vessel comes to a wind turbine, just like it does every day on I don't know how many times for people transfer. But this time it doesn't transfer a person, it transfers a charge cable. The charge cable is sitting on a wind turbine which is fitted with a charger. The charge system is developed with our partner MJR. The gangway, the motion compensated gangway, is fitted with a manipulator which takes the connector, brings the connector back to the ship and puts it in the socket, really. It's a big socket, but it's still a socket. Once the connection is made, the gangway goes to its resting position and the vessel goes to a safe position a small distance from the turbine and with the wind in the back so that the DP power is as low as possible and the charging can start. So that's basically the main idea. Let's dive a bit deeper in all the different aspects. There is a few technical aspects. I will tell more about that. There is a lot of operational aspects, and Rebecca will tell more about that. And related to operational is also financial, on which Rebecca will also tell you everything about. The first technical aspects, of course, the vessel design. I'll be brief about this. We can fit the vessel, the same vessel as we built her in diesel, but today we fit her with a big battery bank. We can fit her with two flavors, two sizes, 10 or 15 megawatt hour. It's big batteries, but we realized this is going to fit. We made a principled choice to use a certain type of battery chemistry, which is called lithium iron phosphate, LFP, for two main reasons. One is being inherent safety. LFP batteries are still, they're able to ignite, but the fire safety risks are much lower than with the more traditional batteries. Second reason to choose for LFP is the ecological aspects to it. The material usage of LFP is much more mild than for the traditional lithium batteries. For instance, we don't need cobalt in these batteries. Still, the vessels will be fitted with diesel generators. We call her zero emission, and she will be operating zero emission in the wind farm, but still we believe we need to fit big size diesel generators. The main reason being backup. Maybe one day you cannot charge, maybe you have to mobilize the vessel to one part of the world to the other. For that, batteries really won't work, so still there will be diesel generators. So any ship owner, rest assured, this vessel can also operate even if you don't have a charge system nearby. The charge system itself. We are Damen. We build ships. We don't build charge systems. So we teamed up with MJR. Dimitri is sitting there. Thanks. And MJR took up the challenge and developed a charge system for an SOV. They already did something similar for a CTV, but now they did so for an SOV. We built a system, or at least we developed a system. It's about 4 megawatt charge power at 11 kilovolt, which is a high voltage. And many aspects played a big role there. It needs to be safe, also after an emergency release. It needs to be reliable. For instance, the cable, the fatigue, all that needs to be strong enough. And especially, making the connection needs to be swift and easy. It doesn't need to be a cumbersome operation. Making the connection is done from the bridge of the ship. No manual intervention on deck at all, so a very smooth operation. Please remember, this connector is going to be a big connector. I won't be able to lift it myself. We really need, it's a big connector really, it's a big power. And also, we decided to make the connection on the grid side of the wind turbine. By doing so, we can always charge, even if the wind turbine itself is in malfunction or switched off. On the upper right corner, the image, you can see the test rig, which is at the premises of MGR currently. That's where they did all the fatigue test and the power test and the reliability test. Dimitri, I hope I tell it right. Is there anything you want to add? Or, From the technical aspects, we go to the operational aspects, and that is where Rebecca will tell you everything about it.
Yes, thank you. Of course, we've spent a lot of time looking into the operations as well to see if it's not only technical, but also practically feasible. The SOV E-17 is designed to operate during the operation and maintenance phase of a wind park. And on the right, I've put a graphical circle of the life of a wind park, of which a small part is the building of it, a small part is the remove or reuse of it, but actually the largest chunk is the operation and maintenance phase. So that is also the phase where we can make the most impact. The natural uses of an SOV includes a lot of idle time. You take with you an X amount of technicians, you deploy them at the wind turbine, and at some point you run out. You need to wait until they are finished to pick them up again. Implementing charging as a real task during this idle time in your schedule will make the schedule more efficient and ensures that there is time to charge indeed. We have run extensive simulations into different types of operational profiles. A lot of inputs can be implemented and altered to anyone's liking, of which some are the wind park layout, so you have the correct sailing distances, the amount of charge systems and where the charge systems are placed in the wind park, the amount of tasks you plan to execute per day, the workday length, but also the installed battery capacity of the vessel. What comes out looks a little bit like this, in which this one represents 7 tasks for an 18-hour workday. I'll quickly try to explain what's shown here. The green line represents the state of charge of the battery, so you see that it's discharging when you're operating and charging when you're charging. The Orange and blue line represent the power demand depending on the mode you're operating in, so either in DP connecting or sailing. So you see 7 peaks, then it goes to charge, that's where you see the green line rising, and then you see 7 peaks again, that's where they're picking up the teams from the turbines. I will show some more just to show you that we've done a lot of them and that it's actually practically feasible. And it is these operational profiles that we used to flow into the financial aspect, because only if you have this, you can determine how much it actually will cost. The business case is made for the overall solution. So it's good to mention that it's not Damen's business case, but actually more of the wind park developer. Input parameters here are, of course, the operational profile, but also the investment cost of both a battery or a diesel generator and the charge systems. The cost of consumables, so either diesel or electricity, CO2 certificates, urea. Maintenance cost of both a diesel generator or a battery, and a battery replacement once every 10 years. Graphically, this is an example that looks like this, in which we compare to a full conventional diesel SOV, which is shown in orange, and the green SOV, which is shown in green. You see at year 0 that the investment costs of the SOV are indeed higher, but you do see that due to the lower operational cost, the 2 lines are intersecting at some point, and in the green one you also see a hump at 10, 20, and 30 years, and that is the replacement of the battery modules. Key output parameters are then the payback time, which is in this example 11.1 years, and the amount of CO2 that you would actually save on a 2-week trip, which is generally the duration of a trip offshore, which is in this case 205 tons. All input parameters are based on real market values, and we ran some scenarios also with wind park developers. So this is an example, but in all cases the payback time came back around between 6 and a maximum of 15 years. So we actually justified that the high investment cost of the SOV will pay back eventually due to the lower operational costs. That concludes the financial part. Then we jump to the conclusions.
Thank you, Rebecca. Yes, it's time to draw a few conclusions indeed. Basically, we believe we have proven the technical, the operational, and the financial feasibility of full electric SOV operations. That's basically what we concluded. So we can say, well, now then we're ready. No, we are not ready. Actually, we're ready for the next step. This image shows today's situation of chartering of a SOV. I mean, a wind park owner charters a vessel owner. The vessel owner will provide services to the wind park owner, and the vessel owner needs a ship for that, so hopefully he comes to Damen, and we build him a ship. It's all pretty straightforward. But in a full electric situation, it will get a bit more complex, because there is a charge system. A charge system needs to be installed on the wind park, but also on the vessel, there needs to be quite a few adjustments, not talking only about the batteries, but also about the socket, basically. And the socket and the charge system, they need to be aligned. That basically needs to be a full integrated solution. It's not only the physical size of the socket which needs to mate, also the safety aspects, the operational aspects, everything needs to match. And due to that, the investment goes up. So basically, a ship owner needs a higher day rate to justify his higher investment. And that needs to be compensated, of course, by the lower energy cost. And we have seen that from the operational or from the financial business case, it seems to pay out, but someone needs to take the step there. That brings us to an invitation to you guys, to the industry. We, Damen, we're really eager to make this a reality. We are there, we are ready for it. But really, we feel the next step is especially to wind park developers and also to vessel owners. Hopefully you're ready to jump together with us on a train and make this full electric SOV operations a reality. Basically, that's what we would like to invite you for. Are you ready to develop this system to the next step? And basically, we also would like to invite you for something else. At 15:30, we have a press release of this system. And at 1600, this afternoon, we have a gin tonic party. That's also where we would like to invite you. And this basically ends this presentation. I would like to thank you all for your attention.
Wow, wonderful. If there are some questions from the audience, there is a microphone coming to you. My question would be, you have put a lot of thought in charging because it takes time and it's difficult. It's a big boat fitted with solar panels. It's independent.
Yeah, we have looked at solar panels, definitely. But we realized solar panels is a nice gadget. It brings you hardly enough to burn a few, or to power a few televisions or the media system. It's a nice feature. But it won't work on these vessels.
Like the light here, it's maybe 10% more and not the whole thing.
Yeah.
There are probably some hydrogen believers in the room who say, make a hydrogen ship. You fuel it once and you can ship for months.
Well, we can do the business case analysis and then we'll see what's let's say, the more optimal solution there. We are ready for a good cooperation and a comparison.
Still open for it.
Yes.
I see. Are there questions from the audience on this? I see none. You've been extremely clear. Thank you so much. 4 o'clock, we drink a gin tonic with you. 6 o'clock, we drink a drink over there at the networking drinks. So a lot of drinks and then a lot of batteries for a zero-emission future of wind parks.
Good,
thank you so much, Damen Shipyard.